Hi, my name is David McCannon. I've been on Social Security disability ever since September 2005 for bipolar 2 disorder. My original diagnosis was major depression. I was a compliant mental health patient for 7 years. Became chronic at my mom's death January 1st, 2002. Before then, I was a very healthy, productive worker. Worked a full-time job. I had a job working as a material handler in plastics. Also ran an internet business on the side called pincollection.com. I sold collectible Olympic pins, and I really enjoyed life. And my mom's after my mom's death, my life just totally fell apart. Uh, After I started taking antidepressants, my health got worse, and my depression just got very intense. The suicidal thoughts increased. Had multiple suicide attempts and almost died in February 2003. I overdosed on 59 Celexa, and I was in a coma for 3 days in the hospital at Athens Regional Medical Center. Uh, just went from very highly productive to sleeping 12, 14, 16 hours a day. No longer had the ability, desire to work. Drugs affected me every way possible. It just wasn't a good experience. And before I went into the hospital in 2009, Peachford Hospital, I've had multiple treatments, electrical convulsive therapy, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, just every type of drug you think of. Nothing worked, and all my friends saying, David's not going to be around much longer. Uh, Everybody thought they were going to walk in and find me dead, but it didn't happen. There's a group in the Peachford Hospital on forgiveness, and I realized a lot of my depression was related to spiritual crisis and emotional trauma, not necessarily the chemical imbalance. I don't believe mine was caused by a disease, and blessing in disguise. What got me out of the mental health system is had a roommate who was an alcoholic, and one night he's been slipping out, getting drunk, drinking alcohol, and I'm not even aware of it. He got very angry and violent one night, which led to a fight that got me kicked out of my housing program. One of the requirements of the programs was that I had to take drugs, and they watched us medicate every day. So when I got kicked out, a friend of mine, her name is Victoria, who's into alternative mental health, recommended a book called Anatomy of an Epidemic by Robert Rediker. I read through there, and I made correlation in my life where there's a time period in life I've been on drugs twice, and that one time period when I did not medicate, my life came back to normal and went back to work. And the data for disability, the correlation just really related to my life. And went to a doctor, my psychiatrist, and I wanted to try getting off these drugs. And he said, no, you got a serious medical condition, medical illness, and you have to be on these drugs the rest of your life. So he refused to say no. Thing is, I was living in, I'm now was in living in Elberton at the time, and no longer was being monitored for my meds. So my sister allowed me to have control of my medicine, and for the next 8 months, I weaned myself totally off all my medication. The advice was slow, gentle, and gradual, and my health started return. Miraculous changes took place in my life. The chronic suicidal thoughts and plans to attempt suicide went away. Uh, Self hatred, my life got better. And even this past year, I started working at Goodwill. I really love working, and but the economy's bad, and I really want to return to work, and I feel like I'd no longer be on disability. I'm still Social Security disability, but I'm capable of holding and maintaining employment. And despite the fact that all the electrical volts of therapies and drugs, the research suggests that all the brain damage it have, I'm actually still quite high functioning. I can do web design. Run a website called sapientcouncil.com, and also I'm a blogger and enjoy doing that. And also I've come studying alternative mental health, and I realized the dangers of using SSRI antidepressants as a frontline defense for depression, and actually the fact that they can actually cause the very thing they're supposed to treat and prevent. And we always told to do what our doctors tell us to do, but there's a lot that's still not known about psychiatric drugs, but the science and data fact and anatomy epidemic that long-term use these drugs can cause harm and permanent damage. But what a lot of people don't realize that you have the right to make changes and suggestions in your treatment, and it's your life. A lot of people say the doctor knows what best. They're going to tell you what to do is best for you, but that's not the case. You are an expert on how the drugs work on your body. If you tried everything and nothing working, there are alternatives, and I just encourage you to check it out. Uh, I'm for freedom of choice. I'm against forced drug in the mental health system. I've seen some terrible things. I've been in East Central and Augusta. I've seen people who refuse drugs get treated violently, forcefully drugged. Uh, with the label, you're no longer treated as an equal. Matter of fact, adult middle-aged people like me, they treat you quite like a child, and you don't know better, so they feel the need that they have to tell you what to do. You are your own expert on how these drugs affect your body. The psychiatrists, most of them are not on these drugs, so educate yourself. You got freedom of choice. Uh, I think it's a crime and tragedy that they have court order ECT and court ordered drugs of people against their will. The science is just not there, and it's a tragedy. It's miscarriage of justice. Uh, Normal for me is setting on a washing machine, and it has absolutely nothing to do with people. Matter of fact, I get quite angry when people talk about suicide prevention and raising money for suicide prevention because they talk about raising money to forcibly drug people against their will. Uh, Antidepressants does not prevent suicide, and there's a lot of research, strong research, that suggests that it causes the exact opposite. And there have been people who mild depression who have never been suicidal in their lives who have took their lives on these drugs. So be informed, educate yourself of the risk, and I'm for freedom of choice. And if the drugs is not working for you, you have the right to say no. Thank you. Bye bye.